Are your kids constantly interrupting your school day with what's for lunch or leaving a trail of laundry behind while you're trying to teach math? I get it. Some days it feels like the house is working against you. But what if I told you those very interruptions, the chores, the messes, the daily tasks could actually become part of your homeschool? Hey, homeschool mom, I'm Erika Sagert on the Intentional Homeschooler Podcast with more actionable steps and encouragement for your homeschooling journey so you can confidently and intentionally homeschool your children without sacrificing your sanity. Grab a pen and paper, your favorite cup of brew, and let's get started. Welcome back to the Intentional Homeschooler Podcast. I'm Erika Sagert, a homeschooling mama for the director of Hope Learning Center in Washougal, Washington, and your coach to help you homeschool with confidence and purpose. Today's episode is one of my favorites because it's simple, practical, and powerful, using chores as homeschool lessons. So this isn't about squeezing extra work into your already full day. It's about using what you're already doing, dishes, laundry, meals, yard work, and transforming these things into opportunities for learning, connection, and character development. So, the first thing I want to talk about is why chores matter in homeschooling. So, let's start here. So, why do they matter? Well, first, chores teach essential life skills, responsibility, independence, and time management. So if your child learns to clean a bathroom thoroughly, sort laundry, or plan a week of meals, that's real, usable, adult-ready skill building. Second, they shape character. So chores teach diligence. They help kids build a healthy work ethic. And they show children what it means to take ownership of the spaces they use and to care for them with integrity. Third, chores do reinforce academics. So many household tasks involve math, reading, critical thinking, even science. But they're practical and hands-on, and that's often when the learning really sticks. And lastly, why do chores matter in homeschooling? Because chores foster teamwork and belonging. So everyone contributes, everyone has value, everyone has a role in making the home run. I want to tell a little story here. So one day I realized that my kids could actually do their own laundry. I was feeling beyond overwhelmed. The laundry wouldn't stop. As we all know, it's one of those things that just keeps piling up and it can happen so quickly. But I learned from a very young age, or when my kids were at a very young age, I just decided that they could do their own laundry. From like around age 5, I mean, literally laundry, we have machines that do it for us. It's a matter of sorting and measuring some soap and turning the machines on. That is literally all it is. And then, of course, afterwards, you're folding and putting away. So I started to teach them how to do it. Load the washer, add soap, use the dryer. And once they had it down, they were off and running, and I didn't have to do their laundry ever again. It was a huge help to me as a busy homeschooling mom, but more than that, it taught them responsibility, independence, and the confidence that comes from contributing to the home in a real and meaningful way. They weren't just helping mom, they were learning life skills that matter and feeling proud of it. I had a mom the other day tell me that she was afraid to let her kids do the laundry because they would mess up the clothes. And, you know, it's a risk that it's worth taking. Get them doing their laundry from a young age. That way they learn a life skill and you get a little bit more bandwidth. All right, so how can we turn common chores into lessons? So, I think almost anything can become a lesson. So I'm just going to give you a few tangible examples today. So cooking and baking. So this is math, it's science, and it's reading all in one. So measuring ingredients. So that's fractions and conversions. Perhaps you can have them double the recipe or even halve the recipe. What about reading a recipe? So obviously they have to read the recipe, so that's comprehension and sequencing. And then baking is all about chemistry and reactions, cause and effect. I mean, think yeast, that's science, that's chemistry right there. And you can do cookies and talk about how different kinds of butter result in different types of cookies. So lots of chemistry in the cooking and baking. How about grocery shopping? So this could be a budgeting and planning lesson, comparing prices and brands, calculating the best price per ounce, reading nutrition labels. Now that's a lesson right there to try to figure out the different percentages and things like that on the nutrition labels, and then planning meals and work within a weekly budget. All right, what about laundry? I see laundry as one that builds math, responsibility, and sequencing. As you're sorting clothes by color and texture, you have to estimate the load size. There are timing cycles and following multi-step directions. Then we have cleaning and organizing. So this is great for categorization and stewardship. So organizing books by author or subject, for example, or decluttering and making donation piles. So that's decision making. Should I keep it or should I donate it? And then deep cleaning and learning the science of cleaning products. Could have a lesson in, is a cleaning product toxic, or can we use natural cleaning products? Things like that. And then how about yard work and gardening? So much natural science lives there. So learn about plant life cycles, composting, seasonal change. Study bugs, soil, and photosynthesis. Also, practicing patience and long-term responsibility as the child cares for the plant, for example. Sometimes at Hope Learning Center, where I'm the director of the Homeschool Learning Center there, sometimes we have students reset our classrooms at the end of the day. And you'd be surprised how much learning happens just in tidying up. They, categorize supplies, they sort different things, they wipe the boards. They're using, executive function skills, teamwork, and attention to detail. It's not academic, but it's educational. And not only that, it builds community. All right, so how do we incorporate chores intentionally? So we want to make them meaningful as part of our homeschool day without it feeling like more work for us. So here are some simple steps. Assign age-appropriate tasks. So young kids can wipe counters or sort laundry. Older kids can cook a meal or plan the week's grocery list. Let them grow into the responsibility. So you have multi-age kids. You can give them varying responsibilities based on their age. How about creating chore school moments? So take a few minutes to explain why something matters. How does it connect to academics? Or why is it important for family life? You can connect it to your academic goals. So if you're studying measurement, bake something. If you're teaching botany, plant a garden. Even character training connects beautifully here. Integrity, perseverance, attention to detail. So track it. Many of these tasks can be logged as life skills, home economics, science, or practical arts. You don't need a fancy curriculum. You just can document what they're doing with purpose. All right, so a word on mindset. So here's where I want to encourage you. Homeschooling is not just about textbooks and checklists. It's about preparing your children for life. In Colossians 3:23, it says, "Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men." That includes cleaning the kitchen, folding laundry, and washing muddy shoes. When we teach our children to work with diligence and care, even in the smallest tasks, we are shaping their hearts. We're teaching them to serve, to take pride in their work, and to be good stewards of what they've been given. This mindset shift from chores are in the way to chores are part of the way can ease the burden of feeling like you're always falling behind. You're not. You're living school. You're disciplining your children. You are doing it. So here's a challenge for you this week. Pick one household task that you're already doing and turn it into a homeschool moment. Just one. Let your child take the lead on measuring ingredients, organizing the bookshelf, planting flowers, or planning the meals. Don't overcomplicate it. Just be intentional. And remember, it might take more time to have your child do it, but it will be a wonderful opportunity and it will help them to grow and mature. Homeschooling is not about doing it all. It's about living it well. So, you want to homeschool your children, but you just don't know where to start. Or perhaps you're a seasoned homeschooler looking for some fresh perspectives. I've got something just for you. I'm hosting a special free info session where I will tackle the top 3 questions I hear from homeschoolers. How will homeschooling fit into my life? How do I know if I'm doing it right? And will my child be isolated? I'll dive deep into these concerns and offer practical strategies and insights. Plus, I'll have a dedicated Q&A session where you can get your specific questions answered. So, if you're ready to take the next step in your homeschooling journey, join me for my next free info session. You can find the sign up in the show notes. Don't miss out. I can't wait to see you there. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as well as right here, where a brand new episode will drop every other Thursday. Until next time, you've got this, Mom.